Hello, my name is David Spurlock, and I am in PAD 5397, Summer 2014 online class, Foundations of Emergency Management. Today I'm doing my presentation on the emergency management theory and answering what is it and does it exist. This slide will show you the objectives that I will be going over today in my presentation. This slide gives the definition of theory from Merriam-Webster that states a theory is an idea or set of ideas that are intended to explain facts or events. Under that is the purpose of theory. One of the major purposes of theory is to clarify terms by providing sound academic definitions in order to convey information and knowledge in any meaningful way. An example of this is if there were no general consensus on what a hazard is, we would not be able to understand disasters nor explain how hazards relate to other terms in emergency management, such as vulnerability. There is also multiple meanings of theory. One meaning of theory relates to the entire body of knowledge available in the given discipline. This meaning consists of building blocks that include main points such as definitions, concepts, principles, classifications, topologies, models, and causal relationships. Going into a little depth, theory is often linked to concepts, which are experimental devices that enable understanding. Theory may also imply principles that promote ethics and standards in a particular field of study or profession. There are numerous examples of such principles in disaster studies and emergency management. Classifications or illustrations of comparison are identical to theory. Classifications are useful to show the differences among similar types of occurrences. In emergency management, scholars are interested in occurrences like accidents, crises, emergencies, disasters, and catastrophes. Topologies are organized categories and have a close relationship to theory. Topologies are similar to classifications because they are useful for comparison, but classifications typically deal with similar occurrences when topologies mainly focus on different issues. Another link to theory is models. They are charts that show links between different variables or relationships in a group. An example of this is the risk management diagram. This slide consists of the background on emergency management. Emergency management is an organized analysis, planning, decision-making, and assignment of available resources to mitigate, prepare for, respond to, and recover from the effects of all hazards. The goal of emergency management is to save lives, prevent injuries, and protect property and the environment if an emergency occurs. What is emergency management theory? At the top of the slide is a quote from Kenneth Hoover that states, "The development of theory is critical to an academic discipline. After all, the point of science is to develop a set of theories to explain the events within their range of observation." Emergency management theory is defined broadly as a crucial body of knowledge. Emergency management theory is an academic approach to emergency management. It can bring identity to a discipline. It clarifies terms by providing academic definitions. It includes the theories of the past and is constantly adding to it in order to meet demands of the future, in order to convey information and knowledge in any meaningful way. Does emergency management theory exist? Yes, it does, but it's changing due to the new subject matter. Another reason is because new content is being added to help have the best theory to reach the goals that are to reduce the probability or impact of the disaster, to reduce cost of future disasters, and to improve post-disaster functions. This slide shows the 4 phases of emergency management that consist of mitigation, preparedness, response, and recovery. Emergency management theory uses the phases to achieve the main objective of emergency management theory, that is to provide timely and accurate information to the public in all phases of emergency management. This slide shows the massive transformation that took place in emergency management after 9/11. It resulted in a significant redesign of the purpose of emergency management and caused recalculation of procedures and protocols. Studies show that great lessons were learned after 9/11. Other effects of 9/11 were the development, National Response Plan, and suspension of the Federal Response Plan that had been used since 1990s. This slide shows some barriers of the theory. The first is a question that asked, is a single theory desirable? It is important to develop a theory that would be able to capture every variable and issue as associated with disaster and emergency management. One big issue is that if a theory tries to explain everything, it may run into the risk of explaining nothing at all. Other barriers consist of inability to define our subject matter, what hazards should we focus on, what variables should be explored in academic research, what phases should be given priority. That is all my presentation, and I hope you enjoyed it.